This starts obviously with your father, Michael, your mother, Chong, but you were a big time football player, right? They called you Wayne High School's favorite son.
Marcus Freeman's football career has been a roller coaster ride. As a young man from Fairborn, Ohio, Marcus was taught hard work and discipline from his parents.
I constantly want to be doing something. Maybe I learned that from my parents. You know, my mom worked 3 jobs. She's a Korean woman that had no clue about anything. And she just worked and worked and worked and worked. My father was in the military for 26 years, and he ended up retiring from the military and kept working and working and working.
Marcus became a top-rated prospect and was recruited by the Ohio State Buckeyes. At the college level, Freeman had an outstanding career. By his senior year, Freeman was named to the All-Big Ten second team for a second straight year and was also selected as the academic All-Big Ten selection. All these accolades led Freeman to put his name in the 2009 NFL Draft.
My dreams as a young person was, man, play at the highest level, right, in college, and try to go to the NFL. And sometimes those dreams stop when you say NFL. Being in Chicago was the first time I was homesick. Man, I was never homesick. Then all of a sudden you go to the NFL. I got a fiance and a son, our oldest boy at the time. I'm like, man, I'm in Chicago with Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs and some of these guys, man. And I'm like, this is the first time that, you know, I miss being home.
Freeman would get cut by 4 teams in 1 year.
So we did all these tests at the combine, and high school and college never found it. And then the Indianapolis Colts, and that's when he said, look, you got an enlarged left ventricle. And he said, right now, nobody's signing guys with this because a couple guys had just died in the NFL, maybe conditioning or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. And I almost like, man, this is a sign from God, man.
Freeman would retire, but his family would not let him quit on the game he loved.
My wife, we got married 1 month after they found an enlarged heart valve. She had a job. She was making good money. She was a news reporter in Columbus, Ohio. And so she was able to support kind of all of us when I was making GA money, which is no money. The next year, I go to Kent State. All right, I'm hired as a linebackers coach, a Division I program. You think, hey, we're gonna make good money, like we're good. I remember I got my salary was $42,000, and my wife would made almost double that. I said, look, you stay in Columbus, I'm gonna go to Kent State, which is 2 hours away. She said, no, ain't no way we're gonna do this thing apart. So she gave up her job, came and moved up, and we figured it out.
Freeman found his new passion in coaching. He coached Kent State for a year as a linebackers coach. Purdue would later hire him as their linebacker coach. And in 2016, Coach Freeman got promoted as the co-defensive coordinator.
See which guys fit together and help us become the best defense we can be.
As Coach Freeman was getting recognition in the college football world, he never forgot what first got him there: his family.
I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for my wife really supporting me, taking care of the house and the kids. But I wouldn't be who I am as a person if it wasn't for the examples of my parents. And I don't think sometimes you realize that as you go through it.
The Cincinnati Bearcats saw the potential that Coach Freeman had and decided to hire him as their defensive coordinator and linebackers coach.
Good. Come on, Jarrell. Let's go, Jarrell. Here we go. Opener, man.
Within the first year of Coach Freeman's hiring, he led the Bearcats to one of the top defenses in the AAC. In 2018, Coach Freeman was leading the ACC in rushing defense, scoring defense, and total defense, making the Bearcats top 15 in the NCAA's FBS 03 category.
Ohio, rolling, looking, throwing, it's intercepted! Picked off by James Witt!
following season, the Bearcats followed this success as they remained top of the rank for the second straight year.
It was almost picked off! That's Gardner! And he's going! Gardner to the 10! Cincinnati has the lead!
By his third year with the Bearcats, Coach Freeman was a finalist for the Broyles Award and was named 24/7 Sports Defensive Coordinator of the Year.
You don't hold them to the standard, you're failing them, right? And you got to get them to understand that, man. We're going to push you and hold you accountable and push you to places you can't imagine because we care about you, right? We care about you, and I don't want you to come back and say, I wish you would have done more, you know?
It was also during this time that notable teams came knocking on his door. The Tennessee Titans, Michigan State, and his former school, Ohio State, all wanted to include him in their coaching staff. But Coach Freeman had one team in his mind, Notre Dame.
And you can't talk your way into winning a national championship. You can't talk your way into being a Hall of Famer in the NFL. You got to work and you got to constantly focus on improvement. And at some point, we'll look at the results and see where you're at.
Coach Freeman was hired as the Notre Dame defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. Freeman was the top choice for the coach then, Brian Kelly. Following the 2021 regular season, Brian Kelly left Notre Dame to go coach LSU. Freeman was promoted to become the 32nd coach of Notre Dame's history.
December 3rd, right? Named head coach, they're cheering for you, the players are going crazy. You're talking January 1st of the next year, so 20-something days later. You're giving your first post-game speech after a loss.
This is a blessing, man, that, hey, we used this. Maybe it wasn't this honeymoon phase that kept going boom, boom. All of a sudden, everything's good and bam, reality hits. You know what? We got to work a little bit harder. We got to make sure that we evaluate everything we do a little bit more so that the next time we step on that field, we're prepared a little bit more to have success.
Coach Freeman lost the first two games against Ohio State and the upset loss against Marshall, becoming the first Notre Dame coach to start his career with 3 straight losses.
You know, I remember coming back here, sitting in my office, and nobody's coming in your office. It's just you and you. The vision we have for where we're going is a smooth, straight road. This thing is bumpy, right? But we got to make sure this is continuing to get the better, right? We can't just do a bumpy road and stay in the same place. We have to go through these low moments to figure out what it takes to lead a program like this, to figure out what this team needs to be successful.
This formula has led success to Freeman's coaching career.
And he will score. Touchdown Notre Dame.
2024 was their breakout season. The Irish were granted number 7 seed in the college football playoff, and this is where they made their name.
Drives into the end zone. Touchdown Notre Dame.
There's an interception. First down, Notre Dame.
Giraldo puts his hands. Have won the Orange Bowl. Coach Marcus Freeman's 3rd year.
Coach Freeman has the opportunity to beat his alma mater, Ohio State. He stands on the brink of delivering the Fighting Irish the first title since 1988, a victory that will not only close a personal chapter, but will put his name in college football history.